Well, it's not the most fun thing I've done on a Friday night for sure, but it's the race car life that we live. Like the shirt says that I'm wearing, race it, break it, fix it, repeat, and we done broke it. Well, I didn't break it, my brother did. Actually, it's nothing he did, it's just that race car life that we live. Um, as you've probably seen from one of my last videos, we had a little bit of trouble at the last race. We had a streetcar night. It's mainly just to get new drivers into the sport, and it's for street. It was for street cars only. My brother has never raced before. He wanted to bring his '79 Fox Body Mustang out, but his wife didn't really want him to do that, and he really couldn't race it anyway because it being a '79, it does not have a neutral safety on the clutch pedal, and so it wouldn't have passed tech. So I told him, I said, go ahead, run the Camaro. And he said, what happens if I break it? I said, don't worry about it, you ain't gonna break it. Well, I guess he proved me wrong. But it's no big deal. It's just parts breakage. It's nothing he did, and just one of those things. Anyway, what happened was it was 8th mile for the first couple passes, and this car here with the 373 gear and the 26-inch tall tire on the back of it, and the tune-up I have in it to run 1150 index in the quarter. It was only going through the 8th mile traps in second gear. I think his best time, which was pretty good for being a beginner and never doing it before, was mid to high 750s at I believe it was 93 or 94 mile an hour in the 8th, and that was going through in second gear. After a few time trials, and they got some experience under their belt, the track officials opened them up to run quarter. His first pass, everything left good. It pulled good in first and second, and he went for third, and there was nothing there. It went right to the rev limiter. He got out of it quick, coasted through the quarter mile. I think it was like 12:20 at like 90, mid 90s, like 93, 94, 95 mile an hour, something like that. So when he came back, I asked him what happened. He told me there was no high gear. Now this car here has a pro stick in it, as most of the people who have race cars and street cars that run a B&M pro stick know that first to second, you just slap it in. It can only go as far as second. To go into drive, you have to pull and hold the trigger to go into drive. But if you just pull and release the trigger, it can go right up to neutral. So I figured that's what he did, and sent him out again. That time, he was running it pretty hard, and same thing, went for third, pulled good in first and second, went for high gear, nothing there, it hit the 82 chip, and if you've seen the previous video, that's what all the smoke was. I do not have a vacuum pump on it, or an evac kit in my collectors with the breathers and the valve covers. I just have a breather in one valve cover and a PCV valve in the other. So what it did, it just blew the dipstick out of it, put a bunch of oil out on the header, and that's what all the smoke was. So he came back, and he was very confident that he pulled and held the trigger when it went into third. I checked the linkage and everything, and it was going into drive. The fluid wasn't burnt. It was just under the full mark, and it has a deep pan onto it, so you know there's no worry about it being low in fluid. Went out for the next pass. I have a two-step on the brake pedal, and we foot brake this at 3,000 RPM. As soon as he let go of the brake, as soon as he let go of the brake pedal on these third quarter mile pass, it just came off the two-step, went to the rev 82 chip rev limiter, and she just tranny just let go in low gear on the starting line. It's one of those things. So we got it home here. I got it out. It took a little longer than I thought it was going to be, but I mean, laying here on your back, shitting stuff around, I'm just getting too old for that crap. Everything went pretty good. This passenger header is like really good. You don't even have to take the plugs, the starter, or nothing off. It comes up through the top. This header over here, it fits good. There's the back two plugs are a little hard to get at, and to get the header off, you actually have to jack this side of the motor up 3/4 of an inch. And I didn't want to go all through that, so I just loosened the bolts up, bungee corded it over to the frame, and there was actually enough room to just lower it down. Once I got it lowered down a little bit and away from the flex plate, I could shimmy it over to the passenger side in the tunnel and come straight down. As anyone that's worked on these cars knows, the two top bell housing bolts are a bitch. But we got them. Luckily, the low car flexible dipstick tube that I had on the passenger side in this, removing that made a big difference getting that top bolt. And this one over here, once you got in around the valve cover and the windshield wiper motor, and got your hand down there, it wasn't too bad. It would have helped if I would have took the valve cover off, but then to get the valve cover off, I got to take the wiper motor off, and I just wanted to get it done. So we got her done. I'm not a tranny guy. I know a little bit about him, not much. So I gotta take it to my buddy. He's gonna go through it. Everyone seems to think that either the sprag has let go or the converter itself, which I hope there's nothing wrong with that converter. That's a 8-inch ATI Treemaster. Anti-ballooning plates and everything into it. That's a really expensive converter. It's way too much for the street. Behind this combo, I think it's right around 5,200 it stalls. A bit much for the street. Generates a lot of heat. So I would love to put a more street-friendly converter in it when I put the tranny back, but we'll have to see how funds are. I have to call TCI because I see they have a Super Street Fighter, and it's for high horsepower street engines. It's a 10-inch converter. So I'll have to call their tech and give them all the specs on the car, camshaft, heads, and your typical thing you do with a converter, and see how that will work behind my combination, and see what they think it would stall at. I mean, it's an off-the-shelf converter, so I mean it's gonna vary from vehicle to vehicle and motor combination to motor combination. But anyway, I guess I won't know until I talk to them. It's a little bit of a disappointment. We got a big car show tomorrow that I was really looking forward to going to. It's a memory of good friend of mine and cousin. They both have passed away, and we have a memorial car show every year for them. And next weekend we have a big bracket bash, $3,000 to win. I think it's either 1,000 or 1,500 for second, and it pays back. I think back to 6 cars or something like that. So anyway, that would have been fun, but definitely ain't gonna make it for that. And hopefully, depending on what the damage is and the cost and converter and stuff like that, hopefully I can make it to the last one in September. There'll be some good passes there because end of September here, the DA there is sometimes first thing in the morning. It's going to be, it might even be negative. We've had it before there, negative 300 feet, which is really good air. Regardless, I would say in September, the worst air we're going to have there would probably be a DA of 500 feet, which is still pretty good. Anyway, I guess we're pretty much done for the night. And when I find out the damage and after the autopsy, I'll let you know, and let you know any other updates. Okay, see ya.